Do you ever have a feeling of there must be something more to life than this? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Well, if you have, like I have been doing majority of my life, this is the beginning of spiritual awakening. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you what spiritual awakening is and the truth of spiritual awakening, and how it can lead you from having a limited life to feeling free. And it isn't all about fluffy unicorns, and it's not all about meditating or doing yoga, and it's not what is depicted in those pictures of complete calmness and peace. It's the truth of what spiritual awakening is. And that's basically what I'm going to be talking to you about today with my All I Want for Christmas Is You cup, getting into this Christmas spirit of things. But before I do, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon of where I will be notifying you when I'm posting, which is generally every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I'm Natalie, and As a Penny's Job is a coaching channel where I provide value through my authentic experiences to help you have and to create a life that you truly love and desire. And as always, I'm available for coaching, and I do offer a 30-minute free consultation. So you can comment below or contact me on any of the links below. Okay, so I'm going to read to you my parts of my journey and my thoughts. But before I do that, what is spiritual awakening anyway? Now, if you're like how I used to think about it, I used to think it was like weird. I had such biases about hearing things about spirituality and spiritual awakening. It was just like weird. It was for people that just went around every day kind of, going, or sitting cross-legged, but it's not. And when I opened my mind and my eyes to what it was, and understanding, my life became a lot easier. I have to say, a lot easier. So spiritual awakening is basically waking up from the limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, to free ourselves, to truly have a life and to live a life limitless. And it's basically breaking free from the person that you knew. So the person that you knew or you thought you were, and becoming a person that you were born to be with limitless beliefs. Now, you're breaking away from what you know, so from how you were brought up and the limiting beliefs that were created in your life through the people that you surrounded yourself with and the environment that you lived in. And for me, it's been a particularly long, overweighted, is that the right word? Journey to get myself here, but it doesn't actually have to be. So yeah, it's understanding that you're not the person that has been created through other people and environments from your childhood and patterns of belief. And it's becoming free to know that you can be, do, and have anything that you desire, that you are limitless, that you were born limitless. You were born to live a free life. So that's basically spiritual awakening. And I'm just going to go through some of the steps to what I have experienced. And am I fully awakened? No. Are we ever fully awakened? I don't think there are that many people that consistently are fully awakened, because we will always revert back to type. But it's becoming aware of that and then bouncing back out of that. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to talk to you about my story, drinking from my my lovely Christmas All I Want for Christmas Is You Christmas cup. And yeah, if you have any questions about this afterwards, then please feel free to comment. So When did I first start asking myself that question, that there must be more to life than this? There has to be something more to life than this. For me, I actually remember when I left school, I did my A-levels and I got my first job, and I was working for Thomas Cook because I wanted to be like my older sister in the travel industry, because I worshipped the ground that she walked on. Not that she knows that, but she probably will now, because she's seen this. And I just wanted to be like my sister. So I was like, right, I'm going to get a job in Thomas Cook. So I did. I got a job in Thomas Cook. And I remember the first few days instantly going, oh my God, this is it. I've got to spend 9 till 6 every single day, not just doing this, but that was my life, like working this particular way. So I was probably about 18 then, but I just then accepted that that's what life was, because everybody did it. But I bounced from job to job to job to job to job. Sometimes I'll stay in a different job for maybe 6, 7 years, but it was literally bouncing from job to job to job to job to job, always looking for that missing ingredient that would fulfill me. And for a short time, these different jobs did fulfill me. They did make me feel enough, but it never lasted. And the reason it never lasted was because I was consistently looking for something externally to fill me up and not looking internally. And that's basically what I have done nearly all my life. I've followed jobs to make me whole, money, people, relationships, to feel accepted, to feel like I fit in, because I had to fit in, because I never felt like I fitted in anywhere. And I certainly didn't fit in with my family, that's for sure. I just didn't fit in anywhere. So for me, it was a desperation of, well, what if I just do this? That will be it. That will fulfill me. Then I'll be accepted. Then I'll fit in. But even if I was accepted in those roles, I still didn't feel like I fitted in. I didn't feel like it was enough. There was a massive gap there that was missing. And I even remember, I remember when I was at at Vodafone actually, and and I did love my jobs at Vodafone. I absolutely loved them, but I knew it wasn't right for me in the end. But I remember having a conversation with a girl called Debbie at Vodafone, and I said to her, how do you do it? And she was like, do what? I said, how do you do this? Day in, day out, repeating the same thing over and over again. And she looked at me like I was some complete nutter. Like, well, this is it. This is life. I was just thinking, oh my God. And I remember looking around at people, just thinking, how are they doing this? How are they showing up every day, doing the same thing over and over again and feeling fulfilled? And then now I can look back and I can see maybe they're still asleep, or maybe that is their passion. Maybe that is enough for them. But I mostly look back and I think maybe they're still asleep. And by being asleep, what I mean is that they haven't awakened to the limitlessnesses that they can truly be and have. And they are asleep in that unconscious mindset of they can't do anything more. So I always had that feeling of desperately wanting to fit in, to just be accepted. But I nearly always felt like an outsider, and sometimes I still do, and that's purely because of me then falling back into my sleep, into my unconscious mindset of being limited, of limiting myself, of thinking that I don't fit in because I never did fit in. So that's something that I work on every day. I do belong. I always have a sense of belonging, either way, I was basing my happiness and my acceptance of who I am on my status, on my hair, on my clothes, on my makeup, on the shoes that I'd wear, on money, on my job, on my relationships. I was basing all my happiness and wanting to just be so desperately accepted on all of these material things externally from me. You know, even like I've just mentioned here, like social media as well, you know, posting on social media, look at my amazing life, look at my fabulous life, you know, and I certainly didn't feel like it was amazing or fabulous inside, but I know it was portrayed that way because I'd get people come up to me and say, wow, your life is incredible. So, you know, I started from that initial question when I was 18, we're kind of fast forwarding now to like my mid 30s. I started to ask myself more questions, question myself. But at the same time, I was too scared to let go, too scared to let go of the person that I'd created, too scared to let go of the life that I'd created, of the money that gave me the stability. And, but nevertheless, I started to question myself, you know, because I'd get a taste of something, you know, and like I said, for a bit, but then totally feel completely uninspired. You know, one of my jobs, I earned so much money in comparison to what I'd ever earned before. And it was amazing. And the freedom that that gave me. But even that after a while wasn't enough, just wasn't enough. I think, you know, I've probably felt lost. Oh, coffee. Most of my life, to be honest. You know, wondering, who am I? And I started to question myself and really go into myself, and working on myself through coaching, through doing the work. And what do I mean by doing the work? I would be, you know, in between meetings, I'd be on YouTube, searching, Googling, reading books. You know, I'm currently reading a book by Wayne Dyer called, it's over there, called Wishes Fulfilled. You know, I am constantly reading. These books inspire me to be more, to be limitless, and they help me become limitless. So I started to question myself, you know, go into myself, you know, releasing these old limiting beliefs. And I had such a deep bond with these limiting beliefs that even to this day, I have to continue to work on myself so they don't overtake me, so they don't hold me back, so they don't stop me from doing things. You know, it will sometimes make me feel like I'm procrastinating. And yeah, so I work on the limiting beliefs that I had. I work on creating limitless beliefs every single day because it's just, for me, needed, because everything was so deep rooted from my childhood. So, you know, when you're doing all these questions, when you're questioning yourself, you know, questioning is good. It is good to question yourself. You suddenly open your eyes to kind of who you were and knowing what you can become. And that is scary and exciting and challenging and nerve-wracking. And you kind of get to a stage where you're doing a couple of steps forwards and a couple of steps back. So, you know, like, for example, in 2018, I left my job at Vodafone. Oh, I love Vodafone. I left my job at Vodafone, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I needed a break from everything and everybody. So I did a bit of traveling. But you see, the following year, I went back into the corporate world again, into another job that didn't fulfill me. So I was repeating the same thing, but I was making progress. I was still pushing forwards, making progress, because I had the guts to leave a job, but then I did go back. But there was still a progress. I was getting there slowly but surely. You know, I started, from all the questioning and releasing these limiting beliefs that I had about myself, and creating this freedom in my life of, you know, wow, what if I did that? What if? And I still to this day have this mantra of, whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. It doesn't matter how nervous or anxious I may get at times. because we all do, because we're only human. But I still know, and I still have this deep rooted belief that whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. And that's my mantra, and that keeps me going forwards with this, living a life with freedom and limitlessness. You know, and I started to realize that I am enough, and you know, I do deserve, and I can have, because I'm worthy of. You know, and that's with anything, you know, with doing the career that I love, with having a loving relationship that it's deserving of me, of what I desire now, not just because I need to be in a loving relationship. You know, it's the freedom of choices that comes with understanding that you are not limited, you are limitless, and you are free to be, do, and have anything that you want. And yes, like I said, some days it's still a struggle, some days it's still a fight, in my mind, but I always win. I always win over it. I always win over reverting back to falling asleep again, to live in an unconscious life, to live in a limited life. But I think ultimately, knowing that I'm enough, and knowing that I am responsible for my life, nobody else, just me. I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my happiness, no matter what. So no matter what happens, no matter how people present themselves to me in the world, I'm responsible for how I act, for how I choose to show up, knowing that I matter more than the good opinion of others. So, like I said, you know, I do feel like I fluctuate through this kind of awakened state of I can to, oh my God, what if I can't, what if I can't? And then, you know, I you know, and I think we all do that. And some days I'm really awake. Some days I'm like, yes, I can do this, I can have this, I can be, do, and have anything I want, you know. And they're the days I feel truly passionate about what I'm doing, and truly awake to the world, and being grateful for things around me. But like I said, it does fluctuate, and there are days where I'll procrastinate, and there are days where I'm having to kind of, you know, fight through those limiting beliefs. But you know, I've got the tools to do it, which is why I coach people, because I've learned. And it's questioning myself when those voices appear, of, you know, what if I can't, I'll never, you won't be, no one's ever going to love you, no one's ever going to want you, no one's ever going to want to be a part of your coaching business, no one's ever going to want you to coach them, you know, all these things that come up, you know. And it's knowing that they're there, and accepting and acknowledging that they're there, but knowing with the tools that you have through the spiritual awakening and the journey, you know that you can, you know that you're free, you know that you are limitless, and you know that everyone is love at the end of the day. Everybody is love, no matter what happens. And this is another stage of, so we've gone from kind of the questioning of, you know, there must be more to life than this, to looking at evidence of trying to fit in, and then it's the questioning stage, questioning, who am I, what am I trying to do? And it's going from looking externally for the answers to knowing that they're already inside you. It's then knowing that it's okay to fluctuate between either state of awakened and sleep. It's okay, because you've got the tools and the questions and the answers to get you out of that sleep state, and to bring you back into the awakened state of the I can be, do, and have anything I desire. I am free. I am limitless. I was born limitless. And then it's an understanding that everyone is created is love. Everyone, no matter how they're showing up, inside them, it's love. And when they show up the opposite of love, that's their sleep, and that's their sleep state, that's their unconscious state. So yeah, I had an incident not that long ago where somebody was really kind of going at me for just trying to help them with something. They completely took my offer of help, meaning that I was trying to steal their business or something. It was, And I knew, and I recognized straight away that they were coming from at it from a sleep state, from an unconscious state. So it was easy for me to just say no. It was easy to just kind of let that go, not to kind of create confrontation. So because everybody is love at the end of the day. As I said at the beginning, this spiritual journey is not fairy tales, unicorns, fairies at the end of the garden. It's not fluffy and light. It's hard work. It can be painful. The roller coaster can be absolutely crazy, just to discover who you were supposed to be, just to find your passions, just to know that in here you're enough, that you don't need the external things. It doesn't mean that you can't have them, but it's a difference from having an attachment to needing that to fit in, to knowing that you're okay. Yeah, it's a roller coaster. Do I regret starting this journey? No, I don't. I wish it had been easier. That's for sure. There are some days that were really, really hide away, head under the cover, painful. But where I am today, compared to where I was, I wouldn't change it. And, there's something that people don't talk about that often, either with the spiritual awakening, is that you lose people on your journey. You lose people that you thought were the right people for you. And you wake up and you have to put yourself first, and you have to walk away from things that no longer serve you and people that no longer serve you, no matter how long they've been in your life. So yeah, I've had to do that. I've had to walk away from people. I've had confrontation from people doing that, but it was the right thing for me. It was the right thing for me to do. And it can be quite lonely, and you can feel at times that no one else gets you. No one gets you. But again, that's a part of that sleep state as well, because I always thought that anyway about myself. But you can get like that, and you want to kind of surround yourself with like-minded people, more like-minded people that understand the journey that you've been on and accept that journey that you've been on. So that's basically what I've created now. I've had to sadly let go of some people from my life, but I've created new people in my life, and it's wonderful. But like I said, it can be lonely, and people don't tell you that. It really can be lonely. But that loneliness, when you are, kind of on your own, and you're walking through life on your own, that's when you're getting more of the answers, and you're finding out who you are more. So yeah, that was hard. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it, because I wouldn't go back to that person, because this person in front of you today is following her passions. Even some days when it's hard, when that voice is trying to pull me back, I'm following my passions. I'm doing what I love. And I only have kindness in my life now. And I guess I only have kindness in my life because I'm attracting that, but also because I truly believe, and I've always thought this actually, no matter how cruel people can be, they were born love. So I know that there's love in there. And so that, that keeps me going as well, which is great. But no, I wouldn't change this journey for anything. It would nice to have been done earlier in my life, not going to lie, I wish I had, but everything comes at the right time when we're ready to learn. The teachers show up when you need them to. So yeah, like I said, it's not unicorns, and it's not fairies, and it's not fluffy, and it's not peace, and it's not calming. But with a spiritual awakening, you go from pain and suffering to peace and clarity. You take that confusion away. You start to understand more. You release old pains, old hurts. And you can look outside of life and feel inside of you as well, just love and contentment. Yeah, love and contentment. So, you know, like I said, you know, I feel, you know, my own beliefs about the spiritual awakening. Do we ever get there? Well, I don't think human beings that live a life how I live my life, that aren't locked away in a monastery or something, meditating, I feel that we don't ever really get there, because I think we're always going to have that conflict of being asleep to being awake, being asleep to being awake. And the sleep is limited, and the awake is limitless. So we're always going to have that, but it's how quickly you can bounce back from feeling asleep, falling asleep again, to then waking up. So that's my own belief anyway. And it's not a straight line. It doesn't just go right, spiritual journey, boom. It's not, it's a roller coaster of twists and turns, of unexpected obstacles that come in your way. But it can also be quite exciting as well, because you just don't know what is going to show up. But questioning, understanding, getting the answers, doing the work gives you the tools to be able to push through anything. So basically, by being awake, I was able to take control back of my life. So by doing the work, I was able to take control back of my life, to show up authentically, to release those fears and those doubts about myself, and to know that I'm love. And yeah, I am worthy of freedom, of knowing that I am enough. And as long as I accept myself, that's enough for me. So it's accepting myself, because it's all in here anyway. So it's releasing those limiting thoughts, and knowing that, yeah, I'm love. So that was a bit garbled, I think, in some places, but for me, the spiritual journey never ends. The work never ends. I never stop wanting to learn. I never stop wanting to better myself. I never stop wanting to free myself from the constrictions of the person that I was created as. So it's not wanting to go back to that person, but accepting that that person still exists and will show up sometimes. So yeah, that for me is spiritual awakening. And yeah, if you, like me, have questioned yourself, you know, there must be more to life than this, then yeah, please feel free to comment below. And if you are interested in coaching to help you with this path that you may have started on, or you're just at the beginning of just questioning that you don't feel like your life is enough, then yeah, get in touch, and I'll be happy to offer a free 30-minute consultation for you. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that. Please take care, and I will see you soon.